Chapter 1. Rain on Fifth Avenue. Cindy dashed from the subway into the rain, umbrella up but failing to keep her heels dry. She sprinted toward a sleek jazz lounge she styled last week, heart flickering with nerves. Inside, glass doors swung shut on the storm. The bar smelled of cedar and old vinyl. At the back, she spotted him, Jack, leaning casually against the polished wood bar, phone in hand, a half-made latte before him. Their eyes met. His smile was slow and knowing. "You look storm-soaked," he said, stepping forward. "May I?" He swept an umbrella from the stand by the door. Cindy handed back her dripping one. "Thanks," she said softly. His voice was familiar, like a song once heard. "You're beautiful even in the rain." She flushed, sinking into a velvet booth. "I styled this place." "That's worth something, right?" His gaze followed her. "Watching you tonight is worth everything." Chapter 2. Espresso, Barstools, and Sparks. Jack flagged the barista. "2 espressos, please." Extra intensity. Moments later, he slid her cup across the bar. "For my favorite stylist." She watched him with a raised brow. "That came with a caveat." His steady, soft tone. "That maybe you stay for the whole drink." She smiled, lifted the cup. Challenge accepted. He stayed by the bar, leaning slightly her way, feet angled toward her even while chatting with staff. Their glances kept meeting, electric. "Tell me," he said eventually, "what do you most want tonight?" She didn't hesitate. "Escape." He grinned. "Perfect. I know just the place." Chapter 3. Jazz and Whispers. He led her to a backroom stage behind a bookshelf. Candlelight danced across Roman brick. A trio murmured sultry jazz. Jack ordered wine, and they slipped into a corner table. She brushed a strand of hair behind her ear. "You own this place?" He sipped red. "I run it." Her eyes sparkled. "That explains confidence." "It hides insecurity," he said quietly. "But not tonight." Their shoulders touched. When a sax encore ended, Cindy murmured, "Kiss me." Under soft piano chords, his hand cupped her chin. Lips fell slow, mounting heat. She leaned in, tasting wine and warmth, pulse pulsing in the hush of evening. When they parted, her eyes fluttered. "We should go somewhere more private." Chapter 4. Midnight Walk in Central Park. Hand in hand, they slipped out into rain-washed streets, shoulders brushing overnight coats. They hailed a cab to Central Park's south entrance. Inside, street lamps carved golden pools and puddles. Jack wrapped his coat around her. "Cold?" he asked. "Amazing," she replied. He tugged her closer and kissed her again, sharp with urgency, crawling heat through coat fabric. Cindy responded fiercely, arms around his shoulders, pressing into him. The city faded behind them into dark green hush. Chapter 5. Penthouse Promises. Jack led her to a taxi, then to his penthouse high above the city. Floor-to-ceiling windows cast the Manhattan glow across dark carpets and plush velvet furnishings. She shed her soaked coat. Jack pressed a kiss to her neck. He poured wine in crystal flutes. Moonlight glimmered behind them as he spoke low. "I've wanted you since the moment you walked in." Cindy touched his chest. "And me." "Hooked," he said with honest intensity. She pressed her glass aside, pulled at his tie, and kissed him fiercely. They sank onto the velvet chaise, kisses weaving into buttoning his shirt, peeling hers away. Glittering lights played across bare skin. Chapter 6. Velvet Fire. They moved across the room, back to the chaise, onto the shag rug, against the marble-edged fireplace mantel. It began slow, but every touch fed the flame. Cindy gasped against his shoulder. Jack whispered her name as his hands moved over her. Heat built, passion-saturated air, velvet fibers damp with desire. In candlelight flicker, Their bodies converged in smooth rhythm, an unhurried dance of give and take. When they collapsed together, panting and spent, they held each other close, the city pulsing around them. Chapter 7. The morning after. Sunlight crept through linen curtains, casting a warm glow across the penthouse. Cindy stirred in silk sheets, Jack's arm draped around her waist. She turned to face him, studying the man who had set her skin on fire just hours before. "Good morning," he murmured. "Barely," she said, eyes glittering. They kissed again, slow and sleepy. Jack tucked a strand of her hair behind her ear. "What do you say we skip the world today?" "I have 3 clients waiting," she replied, lips brushing his chest. But, I'd rather stay." He grinned. "Then let's make brunch naked." Chapter 8. Brunch and Confessions. The kitchen smelled of espresso and pancakes. Jack flipped a pancake with surprising skill. Cindy sat on the counter, his white shirt slipping down one shoulder. "You're full of surprises," she teased. "I didn't always build towers," he said, sliding a plate to her. "When I dropped out of school once, I lived in Paris for a year. Cooked in a bistro." Cindy raised an eyebrow. "That's hot." Jack leaned in. "You're hotter." Over breakfast, they traded stories, childhood losses, former lovers, career ambitions. Each layer peeled back revealed another heartbeat. "You're not just a man in a suit," she whispered. "You're not just a woman in heels," he replied. Chapter 9. Fire and Doubt. Later that afternoon, Cindy's phone buzzed. "Unknown number. He's not who you think he is. Be careful." Her stomach twisted. She looked at Jack, who was lounging shirtless on the couch, reading jazz club receipts and sipping coffee. Could there be a part of him she didn't know? Or didn't want to? He caught her gaze. "Everything okay?" She hesitated. "Yeah. Just a weird message." Jack rose, crossing the room. "From who?" "Probably nothing." But doubt flickered behind her eyes. Jack took her hand. "If someone's trying to rattle you, they'll have to get through me." She nodded, but the tension lingered. Chapter 10. Tension in Silk. That evening, they dressed for a gala. Jack in a black suit, Cindy in a deep emerald gown that clung to her curves. They arrived at the Met under sparkling chandeliers. Art glittered on every wall, but Jack only had eyes for her. But Cindy felt eyes watching her, especially the woman in red who seemed too familiar with Jack. Her name was Elise, she soon learned. Former business partner. Former flame. Cindy's jealousy flared. "You didn't tell me about her," she whispered harshly in the corner. Jack sighed. "Because she doesn't matter anymore. But she used to." "She's not you, Cindy." Still, trust trembled. Chapter 11. Late night heat. Back at Jack's, the air between them was thick. Cindy kicked off her heels. "Do you still love her?" she asked. "No," Jack said. "I love this." He moved toward her, grabbing her waist, pressing her against the kitchen counter. His kiss was fierce, full of desperation and apology. Cindy responded in kind, hands gripping, nails scratching, mouths meeting in furious hunger. The doubt didn't vanish, but the passion silenced it. He lifted her onto the counter, silk gown rising around her hips. They made love as if battling through the storm, urgent, rough, breathless. Words could wait. Their bodies spoke for them. Chapter 12. Secrets in the Silence. The morning sun rose quietly over Manhattan. Cindy lay beside Jack, his arms around her. Still, her mind replayed the gala, Elise's smirk, the message on her phone. Her fingers hovered over her screen, tempted to respond to the unknown number. Jack stirred. "You're miles away." "I don't know what this is," she said. "We move fast. We burn hot. But real life, that's messy." "I'm messy," Jack admitted. "But I don't want to stop." Cindy turned to him. "Then don't lie to me." He kissed her hand. "I won't." but a flicker in his eyes made her wonder, was that a promise or a performance? Chapter 13. Sparks and Shadows. They spent the afternoon in his lounge, Jack on business calls, Cindy sketching designs in a leather notebook. Between conversations, he watched her. "You draw when you're stressed," he said. "You hover when you're hiding something." He sat beside her.
Fine.
Elise threatened to pull her investment from the club. Cindy blinked. Why? She doesn't like how close we've gotten. She's still trying to control you. Jack shrugged. Not anymore. Then prove it. He kissed her fiercely, pinning her against the leather couch. Hands explored, breath deepened, her blouse slipping down her arms. Her doubt melted into need as they collided, flesh to flesh, soul to soul. Chapter 14. A Stranger's Warning. That evening, Cindy stepped out to grab coffee. At the corner, a man in a gray coat approached. "You're with Jack Carmichael?" She tensed. "Who wants to know?" "I used to manage his first club. Ask him about the fire." Before she could reply, he disappeared into the crowd. Cindy returned to the penthouse with tight lips and storm in her chest. She didn't ask Jack anything, not yet. But when he kissed her, she didn't fully kiss him back. He noticed. "What is it?" "Nothing," she lied. But she knew this would unravel them, unless truth could rebuild what desire alone couldn't hold. Chapter 15. The Fire That Burned. 2 days later, she confronted him. "Tell me about the fire." Jack went still. She paced. "A man came up to me. He said you had a club, one that burned down. Did you cause it?" "No," Jack said, "but I was reckless. I let someone cut corners with wiring. I didn't stop it. Someone got hurt?" "No one died," he said, "but I almost lost everything. And Elise, she covered it up for a price." Cindy's eyes narrowed. Which was? She wanted me. Exclusively. The room spun. Passion was one thing. Real love, that needed honesty. And now, they stood on a cliff edge. Chapter 16. The Choice. Jack looked at her, jaw set. "I never wanted to hurt you, but you did," Cindy whispered. "You made me part of your clean slate without showing me the dirt underneath. I'm not the man I was. Then show me who you are now." He stepped forward, pressed her hand to his chest. "I want to start again, but only if you're in it." Cindy looked out the window. Manhattan glowed, busy, bright, buzzing. "Let me think," she said. She turned to go, her scent lingering. Jack stood in silence, heart pounding, not sure if she'd ever come back. Chapter 17. Absence in the City. Cindy spent the night at her old apartment in Brooklyn. The skyline was different here, less pristine, more honest. Her phone buzzed again. "Jack, I'm sorry. I'll wait." She didn't reply. Instead, she wandered through her neighborhood, wrapped in a coat and thoughts. Everything reminded her of him. The jazz from a bar, a man in a suit with a loosened tie, the smell of cologne on a passing stranger. She wanted to forgive him, but trust, once cracked, doesn't mend with words. It needs proof. Chapter 18. A Brush with the Past. The next morning, Cindy went to her boutique. To distract herself, she rearranged gowns, sharpened pencils, burned time. Then the doorbell chimed. It was Elise. "I'm not here to cause drama," she said, removing her sunglasses. "Just want you to know, Jack is dangerous when he's in love." Cindy folded her arms. "That's supposed to scare me?"
No.
"But he's the kind of man who sets fire to bridges just to see who runs after him. Maybe I'm not afraid of getting burned." "Then you'll fit him perfectly," Elise said, walking out. The encounter left a bitter taste. Chapter 19. A Rooftop Reunion. 2 nights later, Cindy received an invitation. Just an address. No message. Curious, she followed it to the rooftop of Jack's Jazz Club. It was quiet. Candles flickered along the ledge. A table stood in the center with 2 glasses of wine. Jack waited beside it, holding her favorite flowers, dark calla lilies. "I didn't know if you'd come," he said. "I almost didn't. I've cleared Elise out, bought her shares."
"She's gone."
"For good." Cindy stepped closer. "Why?" "Because if I want a future with you, I need to stop dragging my past behind me." She was silent for a long beat. Then she whispered, "Good start." Chapter 20. The answer in her eyes. They sat, ate, laughed. Slowly, the tension ebbed. The city twinkled around them like a velvet curtain studded with light. "I'm scared," Jack admitted. "You see past me, and that's terrifying." "I'm scared too," Cindy said. "Because when I'm with you, I forget how to protect myself." He reached for her hand. "Then maybe we protect each other." And in that quiet space, above the noise of Manhattan, something shifted. She leaned into him, and he kissed her forehead, not with hunger, but with reverence. This was love, raw and rare. Chapter 21. A night to begin again. They returned to his place. This time, it wasn't about proving anything. It was about connection. Cindy undressed slowly, letting him take her in. Jack caressed her like a man rediscovering a masterpiece he thought lost. Their bodies met again, not with urgency, but intimacy. Every sigh, every whisper, every kiss was a promise. "I'm here. I choose this." They made love beneath Manhattan stars, skin to skin, breath sinking like jazz improvisation, sometimes wild, sometimes soft, always in tune. When they finally fell asleep, tangled in sheets and each other, neither dreamed of anything else.